What's up, baseball family? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I thought it'd be nice to go over max pitches per games for all different ages, 9 through 19. But more so, I really wanted to focus on the 9 through 12s, somewhere in that range in the youth side. I put this guide together probably 7-8 years ago when I was developing some different program things for ARM. And I offer this to you guys for free, and there's a link in the description if you want a copy of this. Full transparency, I think when you download this from the link where all my books are, there is kind of a page at the bottom of that maybe does some sales work on some of the books or offerings that I have out to the public. So if you're interested in that, then fine, great. I appreciate you. If you're not interested, just to disregard the sales page. But the basis of this, the point of this is to talk about age and throw limits, pitch limits, thresholds as we're in season. Everybody's in the thick of it, especially high school, youth side. Everyone's going through a lot of throwing right now. So here's the first thing what you get. So when you download this chart, you'll see the top line is the age of the athlete, and then the second line is number of pitches. Okay, so if you're age 9 and then you've thrown 50 pitches, then you need to, that's your max limit for that any one given game. You might say, well, coach, I can handle more, or my 9-year-old can throw more than 50 pitches in a game. This is a guide, right? It's not set in stone. This is something that I came up personally with. So if you enjoy my style of teaching, you enjoy what I have to offer the baseball community, and you want to, kind of set this into your approach to in-game management, then wonderful. If not, then don't worry about it, obviously, right? This video isn't for you. But anyway, so I do want to cover this. The first line covers all the max pitches per game. And as you know, like major leaguers, they're 19 and up or whatever, but 100 pitches, if you get into that 110 range, I mean, that's a lot of workload. And I know when I was younger playing in college and in high school or whatever, I've had games I'm sure I threw well over 130 pitches. So it's not that people can't handle them, it's more of what's necessary and what keeps people healthy, right? So at the end of the day, are we staying healthy to keep contributing to our team? I think that's going to be a benefit. So max pitches per recovery days. Okay, so the next thing, we go down the chart, you have your ages again. And then it's, okay, if your 9-year-old throws 10 to 15 pitches, it should be a 1-day rest, right? Again, this is guide. Well, he only threw 10. He's got to come back tomorrow and throw another 10 or 15 pitches. He probably can do that. This is a guide. It's very, not restrictive, it's not the right word, but very conservative approach, right? To keeping people healthy for as long as possible. And I'm assuming that there's no knowledge base of this, okay? And they're doing the very minimum work. All right. So going down, if you're age 10 and you've thrown, I'm sorry, let's retract that. You got your age, and then you get 0 days rest if you throw 10 to 15 pitches. So, okay, you can pitch on the next day, 10 to 15 pitches. But if you throw 20, then you need to do 1 day rest. So it's written above, not written below, so to speak. And so I apologize for that. I got ahead of myself a little bit. And then, if you're age 11 and you throw 35 pitches, right, then you would need 2 days rest, and then 3 days rest if you throw 45, 50 pitches, so on and so forth. So you understand the mapping of how this works for your age, for your athlete's age, and then where they should be at on the scale. I have some things to consider, okay, and that's what I'm talking about, right? So what is the physical makeup of the pitcher? Okay, is he a bigger kid? Does he move well down the mound, right? Or what is his physicality? So maybe he can handle a little bit more pitches than an undersized kid that doesn't have much weight to him or something like that. But So there's a lot of different factors that go into this. How much training is involved with the kid? Is he familiar with the mound? Does he throw pitches off the mound regularly? Maybe he can handle a little bit more in season pitches than what this guide is, right? Pitch counts per inning. This is something to be aware of. So I call them laboring innings. If you throw 25 to 30 pitches in an inning, that's a lot, right? That one inning ate up maybe half or better of your entire weekend or whatever you guys are doing workload. So those are very, very stressful on the body and on the arm. So something to consider and watch out for. Okay, not good. Try not to pitch the same guy twice in one day. So I would never throw a guy in one game and then come back and throw him in the next game on the same day. I think that's really hard on somebody, especially younger athletes. We talked about growth plates, development in younger ages, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, even up to through 16 mostly. But those growth plates are wide open and you're putting too much stress on them. They are prone to break or have some sort of breakdown. For stress fractures, those type of things can happen. So be cautious about overthrowing, overuse, right? How schooled are they in correct mechanics? Mechanics can play a part in throwing more than what this chart says. Are they max effort pitchers, right? So do they grunt and throw as hard as they can on every pitch? You may want to be very careful about how many pitches you're throwing on any given time and weekend, and then what's your rest days behind those, right? Does a pitcher decelerate their arm well? It's kind of tied in with the mechanics piece of it. Is the pitcher playing other positions in the same game? That kind of ties in with pitching in the same day twice or something like that. But a lot of times you're not POs. So you're playing third base and then you're coming into pitch and then we have another game and then now you're playing shortstop and then you need to go play other positions and do more throws. Those throws are taxing, okay? And if you're not keen on having a good recovery protocol, if you're not good on a good warm-up session, you're not cautious about what's happening in the middle as you're going through activity and what your arm is saying, listening to your arm, you can run into a pitfall there, okay? And then how many throws does the pitcher make in a warm-up can matter too. Not overextending the warm-up period in your bullpens, but not doing it to a minimal either, because maybe that everyone's a little bit different. Every pitcher is a little bit different. So we don't want to cut it off too soon and they're not prepared to pitch in their game. So there's a fine line in understanding who they are as an athlete and what they need to get done. And then do they have a proper full body warm-up routine and recovery routine? Again, if you're new to the channel and don't know who I am, I'm Coach Jason. I've been a 25-year pitching coach at the collegiate level. And so this is a lot of what I do or drive and get done. I also train and run the arm pitching development program to the public here in Kansas City, Missouri. So a little bit about my background, but if you're understanding where this comes from and why I preach all these arm care, arm health so much, is because it's extremely important, and I feel like it's maybe somewhat underlooked, especially in the youth sector, okay? And then also I will put at the end of this video, actually the video that you will see right above me will link you to a recovery session, okay? Maybe you might scale it down a little bit if it's not for a 10 or 11-year-old, but you can still do the movements and they still are pliable, okay? And then if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed on this, but if you have questions about it, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help the baseball community, help you guys out there in the public for free, right? I give this stuff for free. This is in the link. Download it. It'll have it. It's just a playbook. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy the material. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.